Welcome back, everyone, to another episode on the Project Nodenium server. Today, we are starting off in the ancient city that we have been working on restoring, but we are not going to be working here today. Instead, today we are going to be working on another project that I am really excited about because we are going to be doing it with another member on the server. We have been planning this project for many months, so to actually get started with the building is going to be really exciting. Before we can meet up with Jesper, though, and get started with the building, there are a few things that I need to do around my base. First up, I gotta clean up some of the slime that have been spawning in this area. And then we need to fix up this tunnel, which leads all the way over here to this cave entrance. And this tunnel has become my primary way of getting in and out of my base, so it'd be nice if it looked a little bit better. Before I can start building anything in the tunnel, though, I think I'm going to need to expand it in one block in all directions. And now that it's all expanded by one block, it's time to start filling it all back in. Except this time, we are going to be doing it a little bit different, obviously. So I think for the floor, we are going to keep it mostly the same as what we have out here. So we've got the dirt and the coarse dirt, but instead of using the gravel blocks, we are going to mix in some stone bricks. So we'll probably put a few in, just sprinkled throughout like this. Then we'll add in all of the dirt blocks that we need, and then finish it off with the coarse dirt. I think I need to do a little bit of work with the stone bricks right now because I don't want them to be all lined up in a row, and I think there are going to need to be a few more than what I have currently. That's much better. And because this tunnel is connected up with our ruined tower, the walls are going to be the same as what we have out here. So we're going to use some of these mossy stone blocks. We're going to use some of the cobblestone. We're also going to add in mossy cobblestone as well as some regular stone brick, but not like that because that looks terrible. I think it's now looking appropriately textured. The next thing I want to add are some arches to be able to support the roof, like this one here. And I think what we are going to do is spread them out about 3 blocks apart like that. So let's measure it out. So that would be the second one there. And then we'd have a third one here, which I think is a good spot to end it. If we wrap around the corner, we'll put another one right there. We'll go here and this space. This is not great, but I think we can do it here. And I think this one will just have to be 2 blocks in between. And we now have the arches completed. And I ended up spreading them out a little bit differently because in this corner, the way that we had it set up originally would mean that these arches right here would look all off-centered, and that would not be good at all. So instead of having a pillar here and a pillar here, I moved it to the corner, which made these all spread out so that there's 3 here now instead of 2. But the downside is that over here, we have 4 instead of 3. I think I'll be able to live with that, though. The last piece that we need to add in is the ceiling. And for that, I've been experimenting with stairs and slabs to create a little bit of a barrel ceiling, and I think this should be pretty good. Did I just say barrel ceiling? That doesn't make any sense. What I meant to say was a barrel vault, which you can now see because all of the blocks have been added in. There are a few more things that I need to add in still, but I think that this tunnel is starting to look really good. So let's add in a few lanterns along the top, switch out these middle blocks for some walls, and add in a few pieces of grass. I now have a nice little walkway to get in and out of my base. This is so much better. I was able to get that tunnel built pretty quickly, so we still have time for one more small project before we meet up with Jesper. And for that project, what we are going to do is build a little sugarcane farm right over here so that we will be able to have plenty of sugarcane to be able to turn into paper so that we can build rockets and fly around. I finished digging out the space for the farm, and we are going to build it in this spot right here. This area is going to be the room where we collect up the sugarcane. And now what we need to do is get all of the redstone components crafted up so that we can build the farm. First up, we need to get some of the sugarcane, which we have growing over at our starter base. Next up, we are going to need to craft a whole stack of observers and a whole stack of pistons. And then it's just time to build the sugarcane farm, which is a pretty easy design. The first thing that we are going to do is place down the grass blocks, which is where the sugarcane is going to grow. Then we are going to place a row of pistons to break the sugarcane once it grows. Then we need to place observers on top of the pistons. Behind the pistons, we're going to place a line of redstone dust, and we will finish up by placing a block behind the observers. Now, because sugarcane needs to grow next to some water, we're going to put the water behind the grass blocks, and then we're going to fill in this space again with the stone blocks just to cover it up. There are 2 ways to collect up the sugarcane that we are going to be growing in the farm. One way is to use hoppers, or we could use a water stream, and I think because we are on the server, we are going to use the water stream to do it. Now that I've got the water streams added in, the last thing that we need to do is put in the sugarcane. The farm is now complete, which means it's time to start decorating. And I've got some fun ideas that I think we could use to incorporate the collection system into the design for this room. First up, let's add in the floor, then the walls, and finish by placing in the ceiling. And we now have the room all decorated up. I left these windows in so that we can take a look and see how the sugarcane is doing as far as the growing goes. And you may be noticing these gaps over here, and I have some things that I want to do because I was thinking it would be fun to have the sugarcane, when it drops down, come through and then come up through a bubble column, go up into the ceiling, and then we will have it drop down into some chests right here. So I need to get that built, which it's now built. And you can see over here, we've got the bubble columns, and that sugarcane just dropped through into this hopper right here, which leads into this barrel, and we can now collect it all up. And since sugarcane doesn't grow very fast, 1 barrel will be plenty of storage for this farm. So now I'm going to AFK for a little bit and see how much sugarcane I can collect. And while I do that, I'm going to show you a brief montage of me going out to the end to collect some spare elytra that I did a little bit earlier. So after allowing the farm to run for about an hour, we have 2 stacks and 42, which I think is pretty good, especially since the farm will be running in the background whenever I'm in my base, so our sugarcane needs will be completely filled by having this farm. But now I think it's time to go meet up with Jesper so that we can get started with the main project for today. So let's head over and meet up with him. Oh, hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. So I guess we are ready to get started with this project that we've been working on. It's
Yes.
probably for like a month, right?
For way too long.
Yeah, lots of planning. And
yeah, lots of planning.
now we just have a bunch of digging for this area.
Yeah, we're gonna start with some digging, yeah.
Between these 2
A lot
beacons,
of
I think we're
digging.
going to probably have at least a couple 100,000 blocks to dig out. Could take quite a bit of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess
Let's
to
just
get started.
let's just get started.
All right. we now have this project all completed, and it was super fun to be able to work on it with Jesper, and I think there are a lot of fun little details that we've added in. For example, we've got these two little machines right here, which are used to load up the blocks that have been cut out from the quarry into barges, which would go right into these spots here. We've got this little village up here at the top, which has got a lot of nice little details, the lamppost, the different designs, and this warehouse here, which is used to store up all of the materials that are gathered up from the quarry down below. And I really like this minecart system too. But with this quarry completed, I think that is where we are going to leave it for today's episode. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And until next time, see you later.